All right. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, where our topics of our interest we discuss by us for your entertainment. Some topics may be controversial; others will be unique. We will dive deep into topics and might just blow your mind. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this. All right, I'm Matt,
Kyle.
and this is the Reigns. All
Yo.
right, now our topic that we're going to dive deep into is Charlie Kirk. Not
Ooh.
the part of him that is who he was, but what happened to him and how the whole entire case was just kind of up, run, done, over with. So
God.
all so all right. So of course, Kyle, I'm gonna go through the scenario here with you, and just stop me whenever you like want to ask questions onto why that something was done or how did this even happen. All right.
Okay. Give me a
So,
rundown.
all right. So to start, the stage is set. Charlie Kirk's thing is set up, and Charlie Kirk is coming out. So with this, we had an ambulance crew, we had Charlie Kirk's staff, we had campus security, and we had some of the local police department there.
Okay. This is just surrounding him
Yeah,
or
this,
the
this is
whole
well,
entire.
no, this is the whole place. This is what's there.
Okay. Got
So
you.
now, then the whole crowd of people. Charlie Kirk comes out, throws the hats and stuff like that, and he takes a seat at the center of the tent, and he is willing to now take debates on. Okay, so now that that's there, now we move on to Charlie Kirk is taking these debates. Now we have to move on to his shooter, who now this was a person who came into the a building that was 200 yards away, went up
Okay.
the stairs, went up to the
Mm-hmm.
rooftop,
Mm.
and as he was going up, he had a backpack on. Now this guy had a 308 like Mauser like weapon that was made out of wood.
Okay.
So nobody noticed this. Of course,
No
he
one.
was walking through crowds and stuff like that. Nobody noticed.
Okay. Okay. A little unusual, but
Yeah.
understandable.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Can be
So
done.
all right. So now he goes onto the roof. Now he's on the roof, weapon, everything, getting ready. These roofs, they don't have any sort of like ledges or anything. They're just gravel on top.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's seeing this. And this guy gets a screwdriver, assembles the scope onto the weapon, gets everything lined up, ready to go. And yeah, then he one
Hold
shot.
on. Hold on. Hold on. I got a question.
Hmm.
I didn't know he put a scope on with a screwdriver on a roof.
Yes, he
That's
had a
true.
screwdriver and everything on the roof.
And this scope was dialed in
Yep,
perfectly.
perfectly. One shot
Now, when I put new scopes on my guns, it
because
takes me
Kyle's a
like a
hunter.
takes me a box of bullets to sight that thing in accurately. This guy just
Yep.
screwed it. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
I
go on.
couldn't. Well, again, that's as far as what we were told. I mean, as far as what they said, I mean, I couldn't imagine what else would you have a screwdriver there for.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand
I
based on
know,
my
I
knowledge
know,
and
I know.
experience.
So,
Go
all
on.
right. So now we're there. So, okay. So he takes a shot. He hits Charlie Kirk, a 308 round. Okay, you know how they work.
Yeah, they're a heavy round.
Yeah, 308 round. Hits Charlie Kirk, but hits nothing behind him.
I could still see it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. No, no, no. All
They're
right. No, I just
mushrooms.
I just want to be sure. Okay. So, all right. So,
Hold
Charlie
on, hold
Kirk.
on, hold on.
Okay,
How many yards was it?
200 yards.
Ooh, that's a good shot. That's pretty far for a 308.
Yeah,
Doable.
yeah,
Far.
yeah. It's far, but it's doable. Okay. So, all right. So now he took the shot. Charlie Kirk, of course, slumps over, shot, bleeding everywhere.
Hmm,
Okay. Well, now you remember in the beginning I said there's an ambulance there.
Wait. Something doesn't add up. Why an ambulance right there?
Well, so because it was an event, so of course, they're gonna have the medical team there.
Ah, okay, got you.
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify all the way with it,
Yeah,
but
it
all
just
right.
sounds strange,
So
yeah. There
yeah,
was one right next to him,
yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, so it's close by, but so his staff, instead of taking him over to there, they throw him in the back of the car.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe they'll
Yeah.
get
So
him
of
there
course,
quicker, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know
What
either,
kind of
but
car was this? Like a Corvette
just
or something? Get him there
no,
quick? I
no,
don't know.
no, just a regular getaway car that you would have, I guess. I don't really
Okay.
but so all right, so of course, it's a mad dash rush to the hospital instead of getting in like the ambulance and stuff. And so now we move on to the scene. Well, and of course, Charlie Kirk makes it there. They pronounce him, he's gone. So,
Mhm.
okay. Well, now,
Tragic.
of course, 911 calls flood in, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's calling about it and stuff. So now the police show up and they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Well, some old guy just randomly just runs up and says, I did it.
I don't know why, but okay.
Uh, well, then we come to find out that so they arrest this guy. And it's like, okay, well, then of course they come to find out that, oh, well, he didn't do it, but he has his phone and computer, and apparently he also was involved into interviews for what happened at 9/11, and they found out that he wasn't even there.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's a weird case by
Wait,
itself.
that was like a distraction,
Yeah,
like,
right.
he was buying time for something
So
else.
then another guy then comes running up and says that he did it. And of course comes out again that there's no proof of that. So it's like, okay. So now then we get, so of course now blah blah blah, all this stuff is going on. Then like, let's like the next day we get security footage. So now we see the security footage of, this guy who after he took the shot on Charlie Kirk, a Mauser like weapon, runs across the roof, climbs off the top side of the roof down to like a lower platform of the roof, and then jumps off that platform. Now that platform looked like for me or you, if the guy they're saying, I think he was like 5'9" or something like that. So this thing was probably about like 12 feet high.
Okay, okay.
So it's 12 feet high.
Not scared of heights or
No, he
anything.
ran
Okay.
across the roof with apparently with the weapon on his hip. I don't know how he did that, but he did it.
Yeah, that's I don't know how
Yeah,
either.
so he did that, he jumped off the roof and kept running.
Cool.
Yep, alright, so now that he's running, now they find the weapon, of course, later on in a field, well, in like a a little, community, "Here's this weapon here." Okay.
Yep, just decide throw in a
Yep,
field. Okay.
hooray, okay, and of course, it has bullets with the carvings of, like, slurs and stuff on it for, like, what they would call the right wing and stuff.
Mm,
Okay, so we recovered the weapon, this, that, third. Now we're trying to figure out, well, who did it? Of course, two people already said that they did it, but there's no proof of it. We have pictures of this guy when he was going up and stuff. Well, supposedly of what we believe at first. So after that, few days go by, the FBI is involved. The whole thing's going on, and now we move on to now his so all of a sudden then it was like after like it was like a week, I think. Yeah, about like a week. So now the police they have like no they have nothing on to who this guy is. Nothing, nothing at all. The FBI has nothing. They don't know. They couldn't say it.
okay.
So all of a sudden then he just turns himself in. Well, his parents did.
Hmm,
You know, parents
nice.
were like,
Okay. Because most of this stuff most of I just wanna let everybody know, most of this I'm hearing for the first time. And I'll let you know if something sounds
Yep.
strange. Okay.
So his parents turned him in and said he's the one that did it. And then from there,
Good parents.
yeah,
Good
right,
parents.
yeah, yeah. So then, of course, from there, now he's turned in, and now the parents turn. Oh, so the parents turn him in. They go through his phone. They find his Discord messages. They find his text messages to his like girlfriend who's trans and stuff, and like saying, "Oh, you didn't do it right," and of course, he's like, "Yeah, I did it," and blah blah blah. You know, everything just seemingly was like all there. Like it's like, wow, eh, all all
Perfect.
the evidence right in front of us. Here it is. All the people on the
And he
yep.
didn't think about destroying his phone or anything?
No, no, perfectly intact. We're still using it.
That and you say about a week before he got
Yeah,
caught?
yeah, yeah. No, he was like a whole week or
Oh,
so.
cool.
Yep.
Probably really dumb, I guess. I don't know. Why is all this evidence
Yeah, I
left?
know. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, everything was there, right on the phone, easily there. Discord, all the messages, everything. And of course, yeah,
Okay.
so all right. So now he's arrested. And there you go. Case closed. Nothing to see here. No questions asked. Well,
Nice and
yeah,
clean.
yeah. Real easy. Real quick and easy. Just cut, dry, all there. Don't ask questions. It's good. We solved this.
Got him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, then it's now I think now it's about like 7 or 8 months now since that happened. And right, was it? When no. No, it happened like no, so it's been like like 4 months, 5 months now, let's say. So 4 or 5 months now, of course the trial is here and now they said that, "Oh, well, turns out that the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk does not match the weapon."
Nice.
So, hmm,
Magic bullet again.
magic bullet.
Okay.
Well, the other question though is around that same exact time, an explosives factory that manufactures explosives that blow up, like, the same ones that they gave to the Hamas terrorists, the Israel forces did in their walkie talkies that explode. Same
Okay.
factory there. Like right after the Charlie Kirk thing happened, that factory exploded. All the people all the people that were there all died in it.
Okay, I'm trying to add this up here. Where was this factory?
I think it was like 200 miles away.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But no, it's just like the weird part because, some conspiracy theorists said that it looked like when you look at like the footage that before the bullet shown actually hit, that it looked like that his shirt like exploded first.
Yeah, I did watch the footage and a couple things caught my
Yeah,
eye.
then
That was
some
one.
people said that they saw the microphone explode. Like that like a burst of shrapnel flew out of it.
Could have.
And, they're just saying because just so happenly the same factory that we saw where the Israel forces had bombs manufactured into walkie-talkies to explode, was the same factory that then exploded the same day that our Charlie Kirk was killed. With everybody,
Okay, got yeah. So
yeah,
they're saying the microphone had same technology.
possibly,
Yeah.
possibly,
Okay.
but there's no proof of it, of
Got
course.
you.
So,
Got you.
all right. So now then, of course, now then we move on to the Candace Owens talking points, which were, of course,
Okay,
the
now
text
give
messages.
me enlighten me. Who's Candace
So
Owens?
Candace
Same
Owens
person like
started out in like 2016. She was one of the first like black women to speak out about George Floyd. He was the first one to
Okay.
kind
All
of
right.
point out the fact that he's not the superhero that they were trying to pump him up to be.
So she tries to think on her own while going left, right, or anything?
Well, she was a
Or
conservative.
does she
She
pay
worked
money?
for the Daily Wire and everything else
Oh, okay.
at the time.
All right.
and then she got nobody actually knows what happened at that point with them because everything kind of went to hell there after she started to kind of point out the whole Israel and genocide and stuff. So
Okay.
of course, then she was like let go, fired, however you want to put it. Depends on which side you're on.
Okay.
But
Copy.
so of
All right.
course she was best friends with Charlie Kirk, and she was part of a group chat, and she kind of saw a lot of the messages that he had because she was in with the people who talked to him in group chats and stuff like that and all that other stuff. And of
Mhm.
course, around the same time that all this started to happen, she showed us a message, a group chat message of Charlie Kirk in a group chat saying that he is done with the Israel, with covering up for, well, not covering up, but for, kind of playing the Israel hand and always, kind of backing them up and stuff like that because of Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson not being on the good side of Israel, that he was told that he's not allowed to talk to them under their contract.
And when you're saying this, you're like Israel, how they play the underdog of the world, like everybody's against
Yes.
them. They're the
Yep.
little
Yeah.
guys. That
Yep.
thing. That's what you're saying.
So yeah,
Okay.
so of
Okay.
course the whole point is that, everybody who's a conservative, essentially, I mean, I can't talk for all of them, but for Charlie Kirk, he was getting paid by Israel and by supporters of them
Oh.
to support for them.
Okay.
And then of course, due to that, he wasn't able to talk to Candace Owens, have interviews with her, wasn't able to talk to Tucker, have interviews with him, kind of talk about his point onto stuff. And he kind of Charlie Kirk kind of was getting to the point where he was done with the donors, done with accepting, these deals and doing stuff for these people because he wanted to kind of be his own person.
Good. Good.
And of course, from that, then Netanyahu wanted an interview to talk to him, and he didn't want to talk with him.
That's good.
And then probably a week or a few weeks after that, shot and killed.
Hmm.
Yep.
Silence. What did he have? What was he going to talk
I don't
about?
know, but I know that the one thing else that he was bringing up a lot of was the sheer fact that he was starting to follow the trails, the money trails.
Yes. That goes to like every congressman that in this country.
Yep. He was starting to notice who was funding the left and who was funding the right.
APAC.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Yep. So now the big mystery of it, of course, which is why all the conspiracy theorists kind of find it odd and bizarre, is the sheer fact that it's like, huh, we're not going to. And of course, they find it odd and bizarre because the FBI, nobody took any of that stuff into consideration that could have led up to this guy doing this. Or did he actually do it? We couldn't even tell you.
I'm saying no. He didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's another one of those scapegoats, just like the other one that took shots at the president.
And I just want to get my opinion why. I'm a hunter. I shoot at deer 200 yards. Probably would miss. I say I'm pretty good. Now, there's this guy has a scope on a human being, secure watching out for security. You think he's steady? With scope he put on with screwdriver?
Yes, steadiest hands. Probably never shot a gun because the guy was only all of like 20.
That's what I'm saying. He's probably no better than me. I would say he's probably on the same skill set. I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. You're still not hitting a human being at 200
In the
yards
neck.
while shaking in the neck, screwed on scope with a 308, a heavy bullet.
Yep.
It's possible, but I think he's going to be shaking. He's about to take a human life. And you say, yeah, trans girlfriend, boyfriend, something?
Yes.
I don't believe this.
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm sorry.
again, when you look at when they show like the evidence and stuff, like everything kind of just fell in line. Like this guy, he came in, his parents said that he did it because they claimed that he was starting to get this radical ideology, like hating Charlie Kirk and, saying blah, 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 this, that, third. And from all the people that I know who dislike him and stuff like that bad, not one of them ever would actually have the gall to actually, go and shoot him.
And that's another thing. Like, yeah, I believe you probably hate him and stuff and disagreed, whatnot. But story's too clean. Experience not enough to kill a human being. No, I don't think it adds up.
No, no, no. I was thinking like the same
It's
thing.
more possible that the theory of Israel paying somebody to eliminate the resistance, that's more plausible.
Well, me and you, we already know. Even Charlie Kirk was starting to figure out that that the whole thing of the right versus the left, a big battle, this giant battle. Again, he people started to point out to him. It's like, why don't you look at who's paying these people?
Yeah.
So then he did, and that's when everything started to go downhill, especially because with the Israel war, because especially with like the Israel war onto Iran and onto Hamas, and you know, all of that started to become a big talking point of like, like why are we getting into all this? Because even with like the Hamas thing, it was like, okay, even he was on the point of like, hey, like, do you want to tell us, what you're doing over there? Because Israel heavily didn't want to talk about that at all, what they were doing.
Yeah, they're fairly quiet. They just play that underdog card a
They
lot,
do, they do.
which I
And
like.
that's kind of why that everybody was like, huh, everything falls right down into this. And now we're onto the trial case. And now the trial is kind of like falling apart because as they're looking at over all the evidence, things are all starting to kind of fall into shambles.
Okay, okay.
Do I believe that they'll probably convict him onto it? Probably. Probably they'll
Yeah,
find a way to do it just so that they can close the case out.
yeah,
But as of now, everything about it is kind of hush hush. Don't talk about this. Don't bring it up. Don't, look it up. Don't do anything.
yeah. It did disappear fairly
It did,
quickly.
it did. So, um, then of course now I did my own independent research because I always like to do that. It's always fun.
Yeah, always think different.
So,
Go
I
on.
went and asked people I know who are on the left about it. And what I got was onto the left side. They were, of course, well, happy and proud that he was, you know, unalived. And
Cool.
then,
Human being,
yep.
cool.
And then of course, though, when I brought up the whole conspiracy theory, they were kind of like, no, he had it coming. So that seems right to them. They said,
Did he ask for it? Probably. By not taking the money.
well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm
Or
talking
did,
about that the left is under the idea that, well, since he was saying all the stuff that he was and doing what he was doing, he was asking to get a bullet. They
well,
said,
yeah, that was my next point after the money of the Israel. That was number one. Number two is, yeah, he did ruffle up some feathers, but do you deserve it? No. But you do ask for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's just like a comedian, but you don't expect it.
no, well,
Okay. But these people were thinking like, yeah, he was gonna get
well,
it.
yeah, and then of course
That kind
the
deserved it.
right,
I got you.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, no, of course, of course. So then the right, of course, is I mean, it like the right. It really it depends on who you talk to about it because I mean, if you talk to kind of like MAGA supporting person that's kind of more like on board with MAGA all the way. They kind of just see it as that this
Okay.
was the left that came after us and took out like our best guy.
Okay. So it sounds like they claimed him, the right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the right, yeah, the MAGA right did claim him for this.
and the left didn't like what he said about certain things.
Yes.
So
So then, if you go
the
to
right's
the
just gonna blame them based on their
yep,
opinion. So it just connects to the way somebody planned it.
yes, and then we move to the more like where I am and stuff a little bit with the conservatives, like with Tucker and Candace, is where it's not like, I'll believe these people because they're on our side. It's okay. Are these people doing everything that of course, just the are these people actually playing by like rules that I like, or are they doing bad things? And so, of course, from there, I'm on the same boat with you with the whole, yeah, maybe we should actually be really looking into more of what's going on here because I'm thinking that there's a lot deeper parts. I don't disagree that this guy actually was probably a deranged lunatic who was indoctrinated by the left, but I do believe that there were paid actors that convinced him fully and utterly to do this.
Yes.
That
That's another thing.
Yeah, that I truly do believe that this is probably somebody who was radicalized because he did go to college. His parents did say that after he went to college and he came back, he was very, very, very politically radicalized, and he really, really
Okay.
hated Charlie Kirk. So,
That's interesting.
isn't it? It's almost like as if they groomed him for this.
What college did you go to? Do you know
I don't
offhand?
know offhand, but it's you could look it up.
Because back in the day when I went to college, 20 something years ago, they made you like look to these kind of people that think different ways and ask why they think that way. So why does this guy get groomed now?
Well, I mean, as far as
Just wondering.
yeah, as far as
I'm just wondering if these colleges are taking some payouts.
Well, we already know they are. That's the whole point of why Charlie Kirk would go to them because of this problem. So he would go there to be
Ah, I
he
got you.
would go there to
Okay.
be the diverse voice to talk about this stuff.
Okay, so it changed somewhere down the line.
Well,
Probably after George
yeah,
Bush,
well,
Obama
yeah. So
years.
I mean, like a lot of them, they became very, very radicalized.
Hmm,
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
That's kind of so, but the whole idea of being so trained to the point that I'm gonna go kill somebody is kind of like, yeah, that's some pretty intense, that's some pretty intense stuff to hate a person so badly to the part that you're willing to go out of your way. I mean, again, this is just a speculation of what we were told under the
Yes,
investigation is
yes.
that he packed this all up, planned this whole thing and went all the way up there and did all this. But now the other big question that everybody has is Charlie Kirk's staff.
Okay.
No drones in the air, nobody on the roofs, and
Yeah, we got drones. We can watch everything.
yes, and they put the drones out before, so we know that we had them.
Oh,
Yep, they had the drones before. They didn't put them out. They had guys on the roof before. They knew the place was a bad area, and how they know is because these guys were trained to know to look for spots that could be a point of danger.
okay. And I did see something about one of the security or something standing next to him, giving hand gestures, possibly pulling out a
So
handgun,
that's
aiming it
so yeah.
backward.
So the bizarre other thing that people have also brought up about this was the sheer part of when the bullet was done. So of course, it came at the same time when Charlie Kirk started up the debate with gun control.
Oh,
Like
okay.
when he was about ready to go answer the question for his views and how they should manage gun controls, that's when he got shot.
Hmm. Enlighten me.
So, I mean, essentially enough, they brought up the conversation about, his views on gun control and of course the left who were there or people who were just wanting to ask the questions onto, do you believe in guns still for how many people it kills and this, that, third, and then when he was about to go answer and stuff, shot.
Boom.
Yeah. So people kind of were like, huh. It's like, unless if it's sheer a coincidence that it just so happened at that point, or it was set up to be that.
What's more logical?
Well, obviously, the more logical part is the sheer fact that it was said to be right when the conversation came up for gun control was like almost like a cue for like, you're on.
Yep, dots are there. They're being connected, people.
Yep. So then after that, now then, of course, the whole now then we could move on after. So the Charlie Kirk thing, we're still gonna wait for the trial and stuff. Now we get to move on to the other big story, the big, big, big unique story of Erica Kirk, which
Ooh, I see a lot of memes
well, we
about
gotta
her.
be you
Tell me
gotta
about her.
tread lightly though, because she's on a sue fest. She's
Okay,
suing
don't
she's
care.
suing yeah.
Can't take zero from zero.
Yeah, she's suing anybody that's trying to slander her. Sending out
I only speak the
sending
truth.
out cease and desist orders for people to stop talking about her on their podcast.
Cease and desist
Yeah,
this.
that's right. So, all right. So now we move on to Erica Kirk. So of course, you know, it was probably like a week two after she's on a podcast now, and having a good laughing, having a good time, this, that, and third, which kind of made a lot of people kind of speculative because they were like,
Which is understandable. She could hold it in and put on a face and milk her husband's death.
yeah.
Probably would do the same. I agree with this.
No,
But go
but
ahead.
that's you, me, or whatever. But see, here comes the problem: is I mean, again, you know, everybody was under the assumption that Erica Kirk was going to be a little bit more upset and not in 2 weeks laughing and having a good time onto a podcast.
Yeah, I see that.
That's just kind, and maybe I mean, I kind of thought too. I said, well, it's been 2 weeks now. Maybe she's kind of a little bit more sane but then,
I would say she could do that for about a month and then it should hit her.
yeah,
Did she cry after that or something?
as far as I know, no. Then it was just kind of podcast after podcast kind of thing, and then she started doing her own.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then it was kind of just this, that, third. Then meetings with Netanyahu and um,
Wait, she met Netanyahu, not whatever his
yeah,
name is?
yeah. She met him, so of course then everybody
Netanyahu.
was like, she accepted the money from him, and
Probably did.
so and then of course the whole thing of raising money for Charlie Kirk, and now the money was raised, and then people wanted to know where it went to, and no answer. So
And wasn't there like a hot mic or something recently where she said, I did what you want. Can I go home now or
yeah,
something?
yeah, that's a little bit down the road because we kind of got to get a
Okay.
little bit more into the other parts of her, which is the parts of
Okay. Fill me
yeah.
up.
So now then the other parts were so now then we move on to the parts where everybody now, podcasters from the left, the right, blah blah blah, are all kind of like, hey, so a lot of things going on, a lot of questions to be asked, and you're not answering many of these. You're kind of just blowing everyone off. because she kind of would just blow off people with kind of trying to answer questions and stuff. So of course, as people were kind of speculating now and kind of asking the
Mhm.
questions and seeing her who she hangs out with now and the speculating on why she'd be with them, then she started sending out cease and desist orders to everybody, saying that you're no longer allowed to
Mhm.
talk about her
She's a public figure. Could talk about
because
her.
she deemed it as slander.
Nah, can't do that.
Well, she's doing it, and so of course, then the big ticket that was hit then was Candace Owens because she despises Candace because of course, because of course, since Erica kind of just sat back now and was kind of on podcast and not really not like she really wasn't like, wanting to like do anything or really to dig deeper because as far as Candace was concerned, she's thinking like, there's definitely more behind this. Like, there definitely is, and it's like it's kinda weird that she just accepts the evidence and says, "Yep, that's that," and moved on.
Okay.
So, of course, Candace was kinda, like, saying, like, "How could you just how could you be like this?" And, of course, noticing the sheer fact that, you know, that the whole, turning point and everything now is becoming more and more of the it's becoming more and more of, like, money, 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 and not much of what it
Mhm.
was supposed to be, which was, you know, what Charlie intended it to be.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah. So of course now it's like, all right, well, using old clips from Charlie to promote it and stuff like that, and all this other stuff, and it's kind of like, huh, this is weird.
Yeah,
Members being kicked out who kind of asked the questions and stuff like that. Like if you question her, you were fired.
it's like when a small company sells out to a bigger one. All the employees go. They start making money off of anything. I see.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're there where now then of course there was a whole big argument, which the biggest thing was of course that but Erica Kirk came on and pretty much publicly told Candace Owens to stop talking about her. Stop it. Or else then she's going to be facing the consequences.
Don't be picking on me.
Yep. So
Okay.
now then we move on to the next part of your hot mic of now it's the question of, was it real? Is there actually something going on?
Okay.
That's where we are. So when you listen to it all, you kind of think now with that hot mic and everything else, it's like, huh, I wonder if it is true. I wonder if she's going on podcast, not answering questions, doing certain things, is that if she is being told, here's what you're supposed to do.
Well, I'm doing a reverse cease and desist. I will talk to you,
I will talk to
Erica
you.
Kirk,
So
but
yeah,
you won't do
no,
that.
no. So of course now that's the
Nope.
big mysteries that we got here.
Okay. So where are we going with this?
Well, that was our conversation onto the Charlie Kirk segment. I just wanted your thoughts, buy-in, and here we are up to date with what's going on and stuff. So, of course, now I guess the big question now is as me and you both know from our first episode that was out was about the families, and as we both know, the families fund
The
the
elite.
elites fund the right and the left,
Yes.
and they fund Israel.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats and Republicans, funded by the same person, getting along at the top, while all you people, the followers, are at each other's necks. Does that make sense?
That is by design.
Go on. Yes. By the elites. Go on,
Yep.
Matt.
No, 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 that's right. No, so my thought is that because again, Charlie Kirk turned down a $2 million deal with Israel and with he well I don't know if it's exactly for Israel, but it was a $2 million contract to, of course, support them and tell people that we need to keep helping them no matter what. And that, but anybody who's a naysayer to we should keep helping them till they start to answer their questions that they won't answer to us. That now, of course, our guy who had millions and millions of followers, that when he speaks, people listen, and then when he started to bring up the whole point of them and the whole point of the families and everything else, that's when all of a sudden he was now gone.
Makes sense.
It does.
It always goes back to the
Always goes
leaders.
back. And then just to bring up the point about that is, again, I talked to some more people on the left about that, and of course they all kind of rolled their eyes and said, "Why do you keep bringing them up?"
Yeah. Oh, conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. No, they just assumed I was nuts.
Yeah. And how could one person rule the world?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, we'll go in.
13 families, but
We'll we'll
what I mean.
we'll get into the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds in another episode,
Mm.
because there's a whole, because that's a whole thing that's kind of really hard to understand unless you actually hear it and you learn
Oh,
it.
yeah. Okay.
So, yep. So, all right. So, let us know your opinions onto this. If you're onto our side with the idea that, maybe the cut and dry, all the evidence right in front of us, and it's obviously maybe it's, I mean, if you believe that it is just the left being the left, then let us know. If you think that the MAGA right is right, where it's just the left just being insane, then
Final
yeah,
thoughts.
then just let us know.
What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts
What do you
my
think?
final thoughts into all of this are, there is still a lot to be mentioned and there's still a lot to uncover, because as far as I know and as far as everyone else knows, that there is a lot more going on behind the scenes than what we know.
My final thoughts, based on what you just told me, he was groomed. CIA probably played games, watched certain videos. They got to him, this shooter guy,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and he had the help from the CIA, people around Charlie Kirk, bodyguards, paramedics. They were in on it. Two or three, not a lot.
yeah, yeah. No, there
So
definitely
this guy
was
was
one.
groomed. He took the shot. Scope wasn't on. Missed the head. Hit him in the neck or whatever. These people made sure he died. Didn't take the money from Israel. Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it went from the top down. Israel told the CIA. CIA make sure to. He was groomed. He went there. They knew he was coming with the phone and stuff. They knew. Everybody's under surveillance. He showed up. They set up. They got him. Murdered. Done.
Exactly.
That's based on what we said today.
Yes,
Might change in the future, but that's my opinion now.
yes. And you know what? I believe you onto this, because there is no way that this is just that simple. There's no way.
Nah, no. Not somebody saying, oh, I'm just going to grab my rifle and kill somebody today. Nah.
No, no, this was no, especially the idea of knowing the building layout and everything. I mean, to try to tell me, you could try to tell me all that you want. That you're gonna tell me a guy who's probably early 20s, probably 19 to 20, maybe 23 at most, laid out an entire campus, laid out openings, places that are normally open, laid out best spots to lay down, laid out all this stuff, and laid out the escape route and everything else. And that
Hmm.
FBI, local law enforcement, and everybody else, even the Charlie Kirk staff team, had no idea who he was or what he was talking about or what he was doing.
Yes. Yeah, the CIA's been doing this for decades. They groom people, mind control. They make the person want to do it
They
subliminally.
do. They do.
He could, he could even his. Well, I won't go with the trans girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever he was talking to, because that was probably real life. But somebody online he could probably been talking to, and they groomed him.
Well, so
Say, hey,
yeah,
yeah, you
so
should do
see,
this.
so
Go get
so
him.
that's like the thing is that in these Discord rooms, especially because with the last ones so far, the two young ones that took shots at people, that both of them were in Discord chat rooms that pretty much were like full on hardcore, you know, this is this and this is that and believe this and I could tell you I've been into these rooms and that's what it is. It is a grooming site of how to create a like a lunatic of the right or the left depends on which room you're in.
And a subject for future episode. The CIA does go into games on the consoles. They go into these Discord chats, chat rooms, all this good stuff, and they do pick people. They find people to groom. This could have been one of those cases.
Yeah, we'll do an episode on the CIA because that's a huge topic by itself that many don't actually
Ooh,
know
that
how it works.
that's a big breakdown. Yeah, there's just way too much for one episode.
Yeah,
That's
that's
we'll break that
yeah,
down
yeah. There's a lot
into
there.
parts.
There's a lot. But
But
all
yeah,
right
but
though.
that's my final thoughts right there.
Yes. Final thoughts are of course that this is a coup that is too powerful to be shut down or to be exposed that easily. And people
Yes.
that are powerful enough to be able to, if they were to say it, and if they did say it, they could make a difference. So of course they are silenced. But these
Yes. It's easy to silence a handful of people that could make a
and it's easy
difference.
enough then that now we built a whole sphere, which we'll get into a topic about exactly how the psychological science works into how you make it to be able to erase the people without people even have the slightest thought that it's anything more than whatever the narrative is at the time.
All right. That's all I have
All
for
right.
today.
Well, this was the reigns. We tackled this one again. Another episode down,
All right.
and I am Matt,
I'm
and we
Kyle.
will talk to you next time.
Peace out.